October 24th, 1944. Eastern France. Near Belmont-sur-Buttant. Technical Sergeant Charles Coolidge was in command of a machine gun section defending a critical hill. His orders: hold the position. Don't let the Germans break through. Behind him. American supply lines, command posts, artillery positions. If the Germans took this hill, they'd threaten the entire sector. In front of him, German infantry, German tanks, German artillery, coming in waves, attacking constantly. Coolidge had 2 machine guns, a handful of men, and orders to hold. For the next 4 days, October 24, 25, 26, 27, Charles Coolidge held that hill, alone for much of the time, wounded, out of ammunition at points, but he held. Day 1, German infantry attacked. Coolidge's machine guns cut them down. Germans withdrew, regrouped, attacked again. Coolidge held. Day 2, German tanks appeared. Coolidge had no anti-tank weapons. He radioed for artillery, adjusted fire himself, directed rounds onto the tanks. Germans withdrew. Coolidge held. Day 3, Coolidge was wounded by shell fragments, refused evacuation. I'm staying with my guns. Germans attacked again. Coolidge held. Day 4, Coolidge ran out of ammunition. Germans advancing. Instead of retreating, Coolidge stood up, walked toward the German positions, and yelled, "Surrender or die." 81 German soldiers, seeing this crazy American sergeant who'd killed 40+ of their comrades over 4 days, surrendered. Charles Coolidge captured 81 Germans with an empty machine gun. This is day 11 of 100 days of WWII heroes. The story of Charles Coolidge, the technical sergeant who held a hill for 4 days, refused to leave when wounded, killed 40+ Germans, and lived to age 99 to tell about it. The Tennessee boy who became a legend. Charles Henry Coolidge was born August 4th, 1921, in Signal Mountain, Tennessee. Working-class family, father worked various jobs, mother was a homemaker. Growing up in Tennessee, 1920s to 1930s. Coolidge's childhood was typical for rural Tennessee during the Depression. Hard work from young age, hunting and fishing, learned marksmanship. Farm chores built physical strength. One-room schoolhouse, tight-knit community. Everyone knew everyone. Character development. Coolidge developed traits that would serve him in war. Stubborn, once he committed, he didn't quit. Self-reliant, used to solving problems alone. Calm under pressure. Farm life had plenty of crises. Good shot, hunting for food, not sport. Physical toughness, farm work built strength. High school. Coolidge attended the Signal Mountain High School. Decent student, B's and C's. Played football, tough physical. Worked after school, helped family financially. Graduation, 1939. After high school. Coolidge worked various jobs. Construction work, factory work, whatever paid, helped support family during Depression. Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, Coolidge was 20 years old, working construction. His reaction: I knew I had to serve. Enlistment, 1942. Coolidge enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1942, shortly after his 21st birthday. Why Army? Duty to serve country. Pay was steady. Family had military tradition. Wanted to do his part. Basic training, 1942. Coolidge went through basic training at Camp Walters, Texas. Training performance. Excellent physical condition. Farm work had prepared him. Outstanding marksmanship, hunting background, natural leadership, men listened to him. Calm and steady, not flashy, but reliable. Advanced infantry training. After basic, Coolidge received advanced infantry training, machine gun tactics, small unit leadership, fire and maneuver, weapons maintenance, squad and section operations. Promotion to sergeant. Coolidge's abilities were recognized quickly. Made corporal, then sergeant, then staff sergeant, then technical sergeant, equivalent to modern sergeant first class. By 1943, Coolidge was a technical sergeant, an experienced NCO trusted to lead men in combat. Assignment 36th Infantry Division. Coolidge was assigned to Company M, 141st Infantry Regiment, 36th Infantry Division. The 36th Infantry Division, Texas Division. Originally Texas National Guard, federalized for WWII, saw heavy combat in Italy and France, suffered high casualties, tough, experienced division. Deployment, Italy in 1943. The 36th Division deployed to Italy in 1943. Italian campaign. Coolidge saw his first combat in Italy. Salerno invasion, September 1943. Fighting up the Italian peninsula, mountain warfare, tough German resistance, high casualties. Coolidge's performance. In Italy, Coolidge proved himself by cool under fire, excellent small unit tactics, led by example, men trusted him, earned respect of officers and enlisted. August 15th, 1944, Operation Dragoon. The 36th Division participated in Operation Dragoon, the invasion of southern France. Southern France. After landing, the 36th Division pushed north through France, following the Rhone Valley, fighting German rear guards, pushing toward Vosges Mountains, eventually towards Germany itself. October 1944, Eastern France. By October 1944, the 36th Division was fighting in eastern France near the German border. The Germans were fighting desperately, defending homeland, every hill, every town contested, using terrain expertly, counterattacking constantly. October 24th, 1944, the hill. The mission. Coolidge's company was ordered to seize and hold a hill near Belmont-sur-Buttant, France. The terrain. The hill overlooked key terrain, roads for supply lines, artillery positions, command posts, observation of surrounding area. Whoever held the hill controlled the sector. The German threat. Intelligence indicated Germans would counterattack to retake the hill. German infantry nearby. Possible tank support, artillery support certain. Germans needed this hill back. Coolidge's mission. As machine gun section leader, Coolidge's job. Position 2.30 caliber machine guns. Cover likely German approach routes. Hold position until relieved. Coordinate with company. The setup. Coolidge positioned his machine guns. Interlocking fields of fire. Good cover and concealment. Clear view of approaches. Ammunition stockpile. Communication with company CP. Then he waited. October 24th, 1944. Day 1, the first attacks. Morning 0600. German artillery began hitting the hill, softening up American positions, trying to destroy machine guns. Preparation for infantry attack. Coolidge and his men took cover. Shells exploded around them, but the machine guns survived. 0800, first infantry attack. German infantry emerged from the tree line, approximately 50 soldiers advancing in loose formation. Coolidge waited until they were in range, then opened fire. The machine guns. 2.30 caliber machine guns firing. Rate of fire, 400, 600 rounds per minute, each. Effective range, 1000 plus yards. Devastating firepower. The German attack collapsed. Bodies littered the field. Survivors retreated. 1000-second attack. Germans tried again. Different approach route. Same result. Coolidge's machine guns cut them down. Afternoon, multiple attacks. Throughout the afternoon, Germans probed different approaches, testing for weak points, trying to flank, trying to overwhelm with numbers. Each time, Coolidge's machine guns drove them back. Evening assessment. By evening of day 1, Germans had attacked 6 times. Coolidge estimated 15. 20 Germans killed. Multiple wounded. American casualties. 2 wounded. Not serious. Position held. Night. Coolidge maintained watch through the night. Rotating guards. Listening for German movement. Expecting night attack. The night was relatively quiet. Germans were regrouping. October 25th, 1944, day 2, the tanks. Morning. German artillery resumed at dawn, heavier than day 1. Then Coolidge spotted movement, German tanks. The problem. Coolidge had 2 machine guns, effective against infantry, rifles, useless against tanks, grenades, useless unless very close, no anti-tank weapons. The solution. Coolidge grabbed the radio and called for artillery support. We've got tanks coming. Need artillery on my position. I'll adjust fire. Artillery. American artillery batteries began firing. Coolidge observed impacts, adjusted fire by radio, left 50 at 100 inches, right 25, dropped 50 inches, walking the artillery onto the German tanks. The result: American artillery rounds landed among the German tanks. One tank destroyed, one damaged, others withdrew. German infantry attack that followed the tanks collapsed without tank support. Afternoon. Germans tried again. More infantry, more tanks. Same result. Coolidge called artillery. Germans withdrew. Coolidge's innovation. Coolidge realized Germans would keep coming. Tanks were the main threat. He needed to stop tanks immediately. So Coolidge pre-registered artillery on likely tank approach routes. When tanks appeared, he just called fire mission number 3 inches and artillery hit within seconds. Evening assessment day 2. Multiple German attacks repelled. Estimated 10 plus additional Germans killed. No German tanks got through. American casualties. 1 additional wounded. Position held. October 26, 1944, day 3. Coolidge is wounded. Morning. German artillery bombardment heavier than previous days. They were getting frustrated. Wanted this hill badly, pounding American positions. 1,000 Coolidge hit. A German artillery shell exploded near Coolidge's position. Shell fragments hit him. Wounds to legs, wounds to arms. Shrapnel embedded in body. Bleeding, in pain. Medic rushed over. Sarge, you need evacuation. These wounds are serious. Coolidge, bandage me up. I'm staying. Medic, you need a hospital. Coolidge, I'm staying with my guns. That's final. Why he stayed. Coolidge later explained his men needed him. He knew the position better than anyone. He knew the German tactics by now. If he left, someone less experienced would take over. Men might die because of that. So he stayed. Afternoon fighting wounded. Despite his wounds, Coolidge continued, directing machine gun fire, calling artillery, repositioning men, holding the line. The pain was intense. The wounds were bleeding, but he kept going. Evening, more German attacks. Germans attacked repeatedly throughout day 3. They knew Americans were weakened. They pushed hard, multiple assaults. Each time, Coolidge held them. Evening assessment day 3. Estimated 15 plus more Germans killed. American casualties, 3 more wounded. Ammunition running low. Coolidge wounded but fighting. Position held. October 27th, 1944, day 4, out of ammunition. Morning. Coolidge assessed his situation. Machine gun ammunition nearly exhausted. Rifle ammunition low. Men exhausted, 4 days of constant combat. Coolidge wounded and weakening, but Germans were massing for another attack. The German assault. Around 0900, Germans launched their largest attack yet. 60 plus infantry, tank support, artillery support, determined to take the hill, a defense. Coolidge's machine guns fired until click, 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 empty. No more ammunition. The Germans kept coming. The decision. Coolidge had 3 options. Option 1, retreat. Fall back to company lines, save his men, give up the hill. Option 2, die fighting. Fight with rifles until overrun, make last stand, die defending position. Option 3, bluff. Convince Germans to surrender. Insane idea, but maybe. Coolidge chose option 3, the bluff. Coolidge stood up, walked toward the advancing German soldiers, yelled in English, didn't speak German. Surrender or die, you're surrounded. Surrender now. The German reaction. The German soldiers saw American sergeants standing in the open, the same sergeant who'd killed 40 plus of their comrades over 4 days. The same sergeant whose machine guns had stopped every attack, standing there like he owned the place. They'd been fighting this position for 4 days. They'd lost dozens of men. They were exhausted. And now this crazy American was demanding they surrender. What happened? The German soldiers looked at each other, looked at Coolidge, looked at the hell they'd been through for 4 days, and they put down their weapons. 81 German soldiers surrendered to Charles Coolidge and his section, who were completely out of ammunition. The aftermath. When Coolidge's company commander arrived and saw 81 German POWs, Sergeant Coolidge, how the hell did you capture 81 Germans? Coolidge, I asked them nicely, sir. The 4-day scorecard. October 24th, 27, 1944. Days held, 4. German attacks repelled, 20. Germans killed, 40 plus, confirmed. Germans wounded, 50 plus, estimated. German prisoners, 81. Tanks destroyed, 2. Tanks driven off, 4. American casualties in Coolidge's section, 6 wounded, 0 killed. Position status, held. The recommendation. Coolidge's company commander immediately recommended him for Medal of Honor. 4 days of continuous combat, held critical position against overwhelming odds, refused evacuation while wounded, personally directed fire that killed 40 plus enemies, captured 81 prisoners when out of ammunition, exemplary leadership and courage. What he received. Distinguished Service Cross, second highest award, awarded 1945. Why not Medal of Honor? Unlike Vernon Baker, Day 10, this wasn't racial discrimination. Coolidge was white. The issue was different. Medal of Honor criteria in WWII were extremely strict, and many deserving actions received Distinguished Service Cross instead. But 76 years later, that would change. The rest of the war, November 1944, May 1945. After his wounds healed, Coolidge returned to his unit, continued fighting through France into Germany, until VE Day, May 8th, 1945, survived the war. Coming home, 1945. Coolidge returned to Tennessee in 1945. Decorated combat veteran, Distinguished Service Cross recipient, ready to move on with life. Post-war life. Career. Returned to Signal Mountain. Various jobs over the years. Worked in construction and other trades. Lived quietly. Family. Married, raised children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Not seeking spotlight. Coolidge didn't talk much about the war. Typical of his generation, I just did my job. Didn't need recognition. Moved on with life. Decades pass, 1945 to 2020. For 75 years, Coolidge lived as veteran with Distinguished Service Cross, quiet man in Tennessee, beloved grandfather and great-grandfather, member of his community. He attended some veterans events, but mostly stayed out of spotlight. 2019. The review. In 2019, at age 98, Coolidge's family and supporters began push to upgrade his Distinguished Service Cross to Medal of Honor. His actions clearly warranted it. 4 days of heroic defense, 81 prisoners captured, all criteria met. A formal review was initiated. 2021, the call. In 2021, Coolidge, now 99 years old, received word. His Distinguished Service Cross would be upgraded to Medal of Honor. April 1st, 2021, the White House. But there was a problem. COVID-19 pandemic. Large ceremonies weren't possible, but they couldn't wait. Coolidge was 99 years old. The solution. President Donald Trump held a scaled-down ceremony at White House on April 1st, 2021, with limited attendees due to COVID. But the moment was still powerful. Charles Coolidge, to age 99. One of the last living WWII veterans, stood, with assistance, as President Trump placed the Medal of Honor around his neck. 76 years after the action. Trump's words. In October 1944, just 1 month before his 23rd birthday, Technical Sergeant Coolidge held a hill in France against overwhelming German forces for 4 straight days. He fought with valor that is hard to comprehend. Coolidge's response. At age 99, Coolidge's response was simple. I just did what had to be done. My men were counting on me. Couldn't let them down. The significance. Coolidge became one of oldest living Medal of Honor recipients. One of last WWII Medal of Honor recipients still alive. Symbol of the disappearing greatest generation. April 6th, 2021, death. Just 5 days after receiving his Medal of Honor, Charles Coolidge died peacefully at age 99. He'd lived long enough to receive his Medal of Honor. Then he was ready to go. The timing. The timing was almost spiritual. Received Medal of Honor. April 1st. Died April 6th, 5 days. As if he'd been waiting, his family said he was at peace. He'd received his recognition. He could rest. The funeral. Coolidge was buried with full military honors. Flag-draped coffin, military honor guard, Medal of Honor ceremony, taps, final salute. The legacy. Military. One of last Wellup's 2 Medal of Honor recipients. Example of NCO leadership, holding the line against odds, never quitting. Personal. Lived 99 years, saw recognition before death, humble to the end, just did my job. Historical. Connection between World War II and modern times, died 2021. Last of the greatest generation. Reminder of what that generation sacrificed. Numbers. October 24th, 27, 1944, 4 days. Germans killed, 40 plus confirmed. Germans wounded, 50 plus estimated. German prisoners, 81. Tanks destroyed and driven off, 6. German attacks repelled, 20. Days held position, 4. Times refused evacuation, 1 while wounded. Ammunition when captured prisoners, 0. Life. Born August 4th, 1921. Enlisted in 1942, age 21. Action, October 24th. 27, 1944, age 23. DSC awarded 1945. Returned home 1945. Medal of Honor upgraded April 1st, 2021, age 99. Died April 6th, 2021, age 99. Delay 76 years, 5 months. Days from medal to death, 5. Awards. Medal of Honor, 2021. Distinguished Service Cross, 1945. Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Combat Infantryman Badge, various campaign and service medals. October 24th, 27, 1944. Eastern France, 1 hill, 1 technical sergeant, 4 days of hell. Wounded on day 3. Stayed anyway. Out of ammunition day 4. Bluffed 81 Germans into surrendering. Received Distinguished Service Cross. Lived 76 more years. Received Medal of Honor at age 99. Died 5 days later. That's Charles Coolidge, the stubborn Tennessee boy who held a hill for 4 days, who refused to quit, who bluffed 81 Germans into surrender with an empty gun, who lived almost a century and saw his recognition before he died.